Iowa is about 61% white Christian. I don't see how she becomes the nominee of that party. She's still a brown lady.
As of this moment, we are going to suspend this presidential campaign.
I also want to congratulate Vivek because he did a hell of a job.
Because I asked him, what do they get out of supporting Donald Trump? Ron DeSantis' only argument for staying in it is he's the white guy, that he can still make the appeal to white.
The lamestream media can't help themselves. And leading the pack, the biggest race baiter of them all, the Trump wig-wearing cultural appropriator Joyless Reed of the mental institution known as MSNBC. Have you ever wondered why there's such a huge divide between the mainstream liberal media and the reality of the GOP voters who live in the real world? Hey folks, welcome back to One and Done. Iowa Caucus is complete. Can you believe it? In-person voting really works. The votes were counted on the same day, resulting in a huge record win for Donald J. Trump. Ron DeSantis did better than expected. Meanwhile, Nuclear Nikki underperformed. And our boy, Vivek Ramaswamy pauses his campaign to throw his support behind Donald J. Trump. Before we dive in, I love making these videos. If you enjoy the content and want to support my channel, help us get to 1,000 subscribers by hitting the like, smashing the subscribe button, and ringing the notification bell so I can continue to bring you 2 to 3 videos a week. Your support will help grow this channel and I really appreciate it. Now let's get into the reaction from the liberal lunatics at MSNBC. Then we'll hear from Vivek Ramaswamy and winner Donald J. Trump. Roll the tape.
I mean, it's the elephant in the room. She's still a brown lady that's got to try to win in a party that is deeply anti-immigrant and which accepts the notion that you can say immigrants are poisoning the blood of our country. She's getting, birthered by Donald Trump. And I don't care how much the donor class likes her, which will ramp up a lot, the better she does in New Hampshire. So it's still a challenge. I don't see how she becomes the nominee of that party with Donald Trump still around. I can't picture it happening. Maybe it could happen. Ron DeSantis' only argument for staying in it is he's the white guy, that he can still make the appeal to white evangelicals.
The elephant in the room, that's the thing on top of your head. The Trump derangement syndrome runs so deep that she can't see the Trump cultural appropriation sitting on the top of her nut. Okay, so everything's Whitey's fault. She can't stand Casper the Ghost or God. It's the same race-based victimhood mentality that we see from her every week. It's not because Nikki Haley is brown, it's because Nikki Haley's policies are pro-war and pro-government intervention. And Nikki Haley crumbles under pressure. This has to be the most delusional panel, and if Pinocchio had a sister, her name would be Rachel Maddow.
It is not, if we are worried about the rise of authoritarianism in this country, we are worried about potential rise of fascism in this country. If we're worried about our democracy falling to an authoritarian and potentially fascist form of government, the leader who is trying to do that is part of that equation. But people wanting that is a much bigger part of that equation. Right. And the American electorate is made up of 2 major parties. One of those parties has been flirting with extremism on the ultra-right for a very long time. They've brought them in a way that they haven't been central to Republican electoral politics ever before, and I know because I've been studying this. But once you have radicalized one major party so that those are the preferences of the people who adhere to your party, the leader is interchangeable. And yes, Trumpism is sometimes what we call it. MAGA movement is probably a better way to do it. But there is an authoritarian movement inside Republican politics that isn't being bamboozled by Trump. They are pushing Trump to get more and more extreme, because the more extreme things he says, the more they adhere to him. And that is coming from a very large proportion of the American right that adheres to the Republican Party. And that's why this is a Republican Party problem more than it is the problem of one man and his leadership.
Authoritarianism? Just look at the Biden government. He refuses to debate or have any primaries. That's anti-democratic. So extremism is wanting some normalcy in your life? Wanting to afford to be able to put food on your table, pay your gas and your electricity bill? To have secure streets, a secure border, instead of funding foreign wars? That's extremism? Well, I guess it would be compared to your super leftist Marxist ideology. Authoritarianism? Read the room. The public has voted democratically and overwhelmingly and in record numbers for Donald Trump. Checkmate. Now from ass to class, here's Vivek Ramaswamy.
And so I will stick to the truth tonight. The first hard truth, and this one's hard for me. I got to admit this. But we've looked at it every which way, and I think it is true that we did not achieve the surprise that we wanted to deliver tonight. And I think that that's just a hard fact that we're going to have to accept as a campaign. And the question then is, what do we do that is right for our country? And so Purv and I, we actually didn't make this contingency plan before everybody told us to. We said, no, we're not doing it.
He's there with his family.
Not just to the Democrats, but to our own side. And not just to other campaigns and candidacies, but to ours. And so I will stick to the truth tonight. The first hard truth, and this one's hard for me. I got to admit this.
It's hard for all of us.
But we've looked at it every which way, and I think it is true that we did not achieve the surprise that we wanted to deliver tonight. And I think that that's just a hard fact that we're going to have to accept as a campaign. And the question then is, what do we do that is right for our country? And so Purv and I, we actually didn't make this contingency plan before everybody told us to. We said, no, we're not doing that. But we talked about it tonight. We took a little bit of time in our apartment in Des Moines before coming here to make some hard choices. And I wanted to make a couple of announcements tonight to get the business out of the way. And then I want to tell you where we're going. As of this moment, we are going to suspend this presidential campaign. And this is going to have to be, there's no path for me to be the next president absent things that we don't want to see happen in this country. And I think that I am very worried for our country. I think we are skating on thin ice as a nation. We have done everything in our part to make, and done, every one of us in this room has done our part to save this country. And I am so proud of every one of you who have lifted us up, but we're a campaign founded on the truth. And so that's why we've made that decision today. And I'm also making the decision that this has to be an America First candidate in that White House. As I've said since the beginning, there are two America First candidates in this race. And earlier tonight, I called Donald Trump to tell him that I congratulated him on his victory. And now going forward, he will have my full endorsement for the presidency. And I think we're going to do the right thing for this country. And so I'm going to ask you to follow me in taking our America First movement to the next level.
Vivek's campaign is done and dusted. And man, are we going to miss those viral moments where he absolutely slaughters, destroys, and smokes the mainstream liberal media. Now, he hasn't completely gone away. He's going to join Trump. And you think Trump's popular now. Vivek is just going to add that crispness, that clarity. And I believe he's going to pull the young voters in for Donald J. Trump. Now, Vivek should not be disappointed in the results he's got. That is amazing. He's gone from 0 to 8%. No one knew him 12 months ago. Just think, career politician Nikki Haley got 19%. Now, Vivek spent $30 million of his own dollars, and Nikki Haley has had a budget of over $150 million so far. The super PACs, they love puppets. So Vivek stepping out at this time really robs us of entertainment until the election. Now, if Donald Trump is smart, he will bring Vivek in and he will use Vivek. I am sure Donald J. Trump has been super impressed with the way Vivek has handled himself. Now, the guy's super intelligent. He's a businessman. Apparently he's just become a billionaire. So he's joined the club, and so far he hasn't been bought and paid for. He's the most transparent. He is the most, I believe he's the most trustworthy. He's about as trustworthy as you can get. Now, I don't know what happens now if the deep state take Donald Trump down. DeSantis or Haley stay in the race in case he falls over, I guess. Republicans will much rather have Ron DeSantis if that is the case. I don't think anyone likes Nikki Haley. Those numbers are inflated by the Democrats, I'm sure. The Democrats would come in with a sneaky vote to boost Nikki Haley's numbers up. Now, let's go to the winner, Donald J. Trump, and see what he has to say.
What a turnout, what a crowd. And I really think this is time now for everybody, our country, to come together. We want to come together, whether it's Republican or Democrat or liberal or conservative. It would be so nice if we could come together and straighten out the world and straighten out the problems and straighten out all of the death and destruction that we're witnessing. That's practically never been like this. It's just so important. And I want to congratulate Ron and Nikki for having a good time together. We're all having a good time together. And I think they both actually did very well. I really do. I think they both did very well. We don't even know what the outcome of second place is. And I see Carrie Lake. Congratulations, Carrie. Very good. I spotted her, I have to announce, because she's terrific. She's going to be a senator, a great senator, I predict, right? You're going to be a great senator. And I also want to congratulate Vivek, because he did a hell of a job. He came from zero, and he's got a big percent, probably 8%, almost 8%, and that's an amazing job. They all did. They're all very smart people, very capable people.
Now, is Vivek going to be AG, or is he going to be press secretary or VP? Let me know in the comments. I'm quite interested, because they have to find a spot where they're going to utilize his talent, because he is unbelievably intelligent and he has a lot of talent. He is going to be a superstar.
I think most importantly, I want to thank my incredible wife, First Lady, I'll say former and maybe future. But more important than Melania, I want to thank her incredible, beautiful mother who passed away a few days ago. And she's up there, way up there. She's looking down, and she's so proud of us. And I just want to say to Amalia, you are special, one of the most special people I've ever known. And that was a tough period of time for the family. But she's amazing. She was amazing. So I just want to thank what she's done for our family, and her husband, who's home right now and very lonely. He's a lonely man, but he's going to be okay. Victor, they're great people, great parents to all of us, really, great parents, but also to Barron. Boy, did she take care of Barron. That's how he got so tall. He only ate her food. And I want to thank my family generally.
Mama's home cooking.
They've worked so hard, and they've taken so much abuse for being good people. I mean, good people, but Eric and Don. They really did. These two have been working so hard, and they have another job also, so they have to do it all, but they've been working so hard. And I know that Ivanka is home and Tiffany's home. They're watching, and I know that Barron's watching. Good old Barron. I said, you're going to be a basketball player. I said, well, I like soccer, Dad, actually. I said, at your height, I like basketball better, but sometimes you can't talk them into everything.
And I know Trump, this is his last term coming up if he's successful, but look at the pedigree behind him. His 3 sons and his daughter. Hard workers, conscientious, professional, and then look at Hunter. I'll tell you what, if I was Trump, I'd be super, super proud of my children. And Donald Trump doesn't touch alcohol. He's never touched a drop of alcohol in his life.
So we're going to come together. We're going to drill, baby, drill right away. Drill, baby, drill. We're going to seal up the border. Because right now we have an invasion. We have an invasion of millions and millions of people that are coming into our country. I can't imagine why they think that's a good thing. It's a very bad thing. I think it's a group of people that are probably larger in number than New York State. And we can't have that. We can't have that. It's not sustainable as a country. It's horrible. But I have to say that he is the worst president that we've had in the history of our country. He's destroying our country.
That's facts.
And, you know, my wife attended the funeral 2 months ago of Rosalind Carter, and it was beautiful. And Jimmy Carter was there, and I thought to myself, Jimmy Carter is happy now because he will go down as being a brilliant president by comparison to Joe Biden. He'll be a brilliant president. He's going to be known as brilliant by comparison.
True.
We're going to rescue our economy. We're going to save our economy. We had the greatest economy in the history of our country. There was never a greater economy, and now we don't. And when you look at what's happened with inflation, inflation is destroying. You know, they call it a country killer. Going back hundreds of years, Germany, countries that had big inflation are dead. They become dead countries. We have to stop that immediately. And we want peace through strength. Russia would have never attacked Ukraine, would have never done it. Putin and I get along fine. We get along very well. That's a good thing, not a bad thing. The fake news, which if the fake news would become real and honest news, 90% of our problems in this country would be solved.
Yeah,
they would be
that's
solved.
facts. That is facts.
So Russia would have never attacked. Israel would have never been attacked. The Ukraine situation is so horrible. The Israeli situation is so horrible. What's happened? And we're going to get them solved. We're going to get them solved very fast. I actually said Ukraine. I know President Putin very well. I know Zelensky very well. I'm going to get him in. We're going to get it solved very quickly. Should have never happened. Would have never happened. Now you have all that death, far greater than people understand. The numbers are far, far greater than anybody would even think possible. You're going to find that out in the years to come. All over the world, they're laughing at us, and they want our country to come back. They want America, you know, they want us to be great again. It's a very simple. MAGA, make America great again. And America first. America first is a very important part of MAGA.
So there we have it, folks. Donald J. Trump wins Iowa in an absolute landslide, thumping all competition. In fact, he had more votes than Vivek, Nikki Haley, and Ron DeSantis all combined. And I loved some of the things we heard from Trump. Number one, he's going to drill baby drill, frack baby frack. He's going to secure the border. He's going to lead peace through strength. I believe he's going to play a big part in stopping the wars that are going on around the globe at the moment. There were no wars on his watch, and he got rid of ISIS within 6 months. No terror attacks, the lowest minority unemployment in history, a secure border, and he got Mexico to provide 30,000 troops to patrol the border. And he's got Biden's corrupt DOJ chasing him from pillar to post with these ridiculous charges and allegations. Now, I would love to see Trump give Vivek Ramaswamy maybe the AG role, maybe the press secretary role. That would be fun. And maybe vice president. What do you think? Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. VP, AG, or what was the other one? Press secretary. Now, if you'd like me to react to the speech that they're going to do together in New Hampshire, let me know in the comments. And we're going to wrap this video up. Now, if you want to support the channel, don't forget to hit the like, smash the subscribe button, ring the notification bell, help us get to 1,000 subscriptions, and I will catch you in the next video.